All right, number 4, same thing. We're going to find the perimeter and the area, but this time it's going to be a rectangle. So a rectangle has 2 lengths that are the same side. So here's your length. It's your longest side. All right, and then that means that the length on the opposite or parallel side is also the same amount, 3x squared plus 5x minus 3. And then the width, same as the parallel side, this is going to be 2x. All right, so when we find the perimeter, we just add all of the terms together. All right, so I'm going to show you the long way and then I'm going to show you the short way. Okay, so let's start with the perimeter. So perimeter, we are adding all of the sides. So we have 3x squared plus 5x minus 3. Well, there's 2 of those, right? There's 2 lengths. So I'm going to do that trinomial term one more time. So 3x squared plus 5x minus 3. And then we have our widths. There's 2 of them, so plus 2x and then plus 2x. All right, so I basically just wrote them both twice. All right, now we're going to combine like terms. So we're going to start with the highest exponent first. So x squared and x squared. So perimeter equals, well, 3 plus 3 is 6. So 6x squared. I'm just going to keep everything pink. 6x squared. Remember, the x squared you don't do anything with, they just come along for the ride. Then we have x. So there's a lot of terms with just x. So here's the 5x. Here's another 5x, and then we have 2x and 2x. Those are all the same terms. So we're going to go ahead and add them up. So 5 plus 5 is 10. 10 plus 2 is 12. 12 plus 2 is 14. So this would be plus 14, and then the x comes along for the ride. And last but not least, we have the constants. So -3 minus 3. That's going to give us a -6. And that is your perimeter. Look at that. Easy peasy. All right. So the short way, we're going to utilize a little bit of poly operations. Instead of adding, we're going to incorporate multiplication. So perimeter equals, well, there's 2 sides of the length. So the length is 3x squared plus 5x minus 3. And there is 2 sides, so we're going to add that to 2 sides of the 2x, right? There's 2 of each sides. So if we incorporate distribution, your perimeter is going to equal, you're distributing that 2 to each of the terms over in this trinomial. So that's 6x squared plus 2 times 5 is 10. The x just comes along for the ride. And 2 times -3 is -6. Over here, we're just distributing the 2 to 2x. So that's plus 4x because 2 times 2 is 4. And you'll notice that the only thing that you need to combine is 10x and 4x, which will give you the same answer as over here. So whichever way you want to do it, they're both correct. The longer way does not mean it's the harder way. All right, sometimes you need to physically see each term, which is fine. All right, next is going to be area. So area equals length times width. So basically we have the pink portion, which is 3x squared plus 5x minus 3. And we are multiplying that with the blue, so 2x. All right, normally the monomial, the one term, this blue is normally in the front. Order doesn't matter, just as long as you're still distributing. So you're going to distribute this trinomial to this monomial. So 2x squared times 2x, that's going to give us 6, because 3 times 2 is 6. X squared times x, remember we add the exponents, so this is x cubed. All right, so we did this first term in this trinomial, so next we have 5x times 2x. Positive 5 times 2 is a positive 10. x times x is x squared. Remember, there's that invisible one that we do not need to write. And then last but not least, -3 times 2 gives us a -6. And then the x just comes along for the ride. And there we go. That is your area. Area equals. Okay, and last but not least, instead of me giving it to you in a drawing, I'm going to give it to you in a word sentence. So use the diagram below to answer the following questions. Make sure you show your work and explain the process you are using to arrive at your solution. So the yard, which is this rectangle right here, has a length of, so we're actually just going to go ahead and fill this part out. So the length is the longest side. So here is 10x squared minus 8x plus 4. This is the same over here because it's parallel. And then it has a width of 4x. So 4x is over here and over here. All right, so label the rectangle, which we did. All right, we're going to look for the perimeter first. So perimeter equals all of the sides added up. So again, you can do it the long way and just write everything out, which is going to be 10x squared minus 8x plus 4. There's 2 of those, so I'm just going to rewrite that again. All right, and we have 4x plus 4x. All right, so here we're going to combine the x squareds first. So 10 plus 10, that gives you 20x squared. Next, we have all of the x terms. So I'm going to use my colorful one. So we have -8, -8, and we have 4 and 4. They all have x's, so they're all like terms. So here on the side, I'll do it for us. -8 minus 8, that's going to give us a -16. All right. The blue is 4 and 4, so we're adding 8 to this. So really, we're left with -8. Okay, so -8x. Or you can think about it, 4x plus 4x is an 8x. So these two terms actually cancel out one of those -8x. So you're really just left with a -8x. All right. And then last but not least, 4 plus 4, that gives us 8. So plus 8. And there you go. That is the longer way. If you wanted to do the shorter way, you could do perimeter equals 2 times 10x squared minus 8x plus 4 plus, there's 2 of the widths. There's 2 lengths, there's 2 widths. You can go ahead and distribute 20x squared minus 16x plus 8 plus 8x. All right, and the only terms you have to combine are these two, and you'll get the same answer over here. All right, area, last but not least, area equals length times width. So length is that 10x squared minus 8x plus 4, and your width is 4x. All right, so very similar to number 4. We're going to go ahead and distribute. All right, so 10 times 4 is 40. X squared times x is x cubed because you add the exponents. All right, -8 times 4 is a -32. X times x is x squared. And then last but not least, 4 times 4 is 16, and the x just comes along for the ride. So that's what area equals, 40x cubed minus 32x squared plus 16x. All right. Good job. Bye, guys.